Welcome back to The Express at Cityscape in North Vancouver for their current exhibition, Patterns, Hard and Soft. It features 4 artists and they're using things like canvas, fabric, clay, stoneware. And we're going to show you more of that later because right now we have the 6-piece Latin soul funk rock reggae band that's changing the music scene in East Vancouver.
Music means a lot of things for a lot of people, but for these 6 guys, music is family.
We're just a clan of guys that love what we do and do what we love.
They are the Boom Booms, the product of East Vancouver. Most of the members grew up together in this neighborhood, forging their fun melodic pop sound after many years of friendship.
Aaron is my best friend since we were little kids. We had our first band together when we were 8 or 9, and you know, Sean, his brother's in the band, and Theo grew up in the neighborhood 2 blocks up from where we are right now in East Vancouver. It's kind of been like that.
And they've come a long way, quite literally. Throughout the past 5 years, the band has traveled through Mexico, South America, and Europe, playing dive bars and street corners to get their music out there.
We're out there, started to 2-step together, and you just kind of slanging away, playing the same, like you figure out which songs make you money, right? So you end up playing like the same 5 songs all day. But it's good, so it made us tight, like it made us into a really cohesive unit.
Traveling also helped them craft their bombastic Latin sound.
Me and Aaron traveled to Mexico and then to Cuba, and that's where we kind of started to get the framework for what we were going to do, because we saw the people down there, we heard the music, and it was super inclusive, and there are these big choruses that everyone sings, and it did something to us.
Bands like Buena Vista Social Club and Manu Chao became huge influences. But the band isn't too interested in labels and classifications. All they want to do is play music that moves.
It's all about getting people moving. We play uplifting, happy music that people can move to of any age.
Currently, the Boom Booms have 2 full-length releases, and they recently placed in the top 3 of the Peak Performance Project, which is a contest to find BC's best new acts. But whether they make it big or not, community comes first in this band, and that means music will always be made and shared, at least in this part of East Vancouver.
It's where we're from, and it's a real clear representative of what we do and how we've grown up together.
I'm Tim Chung in Vancouver for The Express.
The website is theboombooms.com, and you can see them live on November the 10th at the venue downtown. So many choices. That's going to be such a big night in town. 5 Alarm Funk are also playing. There's Lotus Eyes Forum Fashion Show. And of course, for lots of people, it's a long weekend, meaning time to practice your golf game. And I know the meteorologists are saying that this is going to be one of the coldest winters on record. But don't worry, there's a new indoor training center in Surrey that'll keep you in the swing of things.
Your club head speed, 80 miles an hour. Your number at 1.4 is pretty close to tour caliber. I always really sort of had a passion for teaching the game of golf.
Tim Wilson is a former golf pro who helps his students make this little ball do exactly what they want it to. Success in golf is dependent on many different variables, just as a successful golf game is dependent on good weather.
You know, there's a lot of rain, a lot of snow, so it's tough to get out and play and practice.
So this winter, Tim is coaching off the green. He doesn't want his students to drop the ball on what they've learned.
I wanted some way to keep us connected, keep us going, so that when we got to April, they didn't lose what we worked on so hard the previous year.
There are 3 rooms in this indoor training facility at Morgan Creek Golf Course, starting with the fitness room.
How's it back? How's that feel? A place to go before we go into the hitting bay, before we go into the putting lab.
The fitness is a huge aspect of the game, especially for me. I got a few injuries, so I need to get in there before and have a good stretch.
Then it's on to the hitting bay.
Mirrors, cameras, launch monitors, teaching software.
As soon as you hit it, you can look over at the TV monitor and you can see the ball flight. Tells you how fast you're swinging, shows you the trajectory of the ball. It's instant feedback.
We put some sensors on the golf ball and it picks it up. For that first few feet until it hits the net, it analyzes exactly what's happening with the golf ball. It's very, very similar technology to airplane technology, how they land airplanes.
Finally, the key to a good golf game, putting.
The reason it's so difficult is because there's so many variables involved in putting. And this is actually your path. It's software that really, really picks on the important parts of putting, analyzes the stroke in 8 different ways. You have some subtle differences in the stroke, the way that it is.
Technology that's in there and the instant feedback that we see, and with the eye of Tim Wilson, you can see what's happening in my stroke.
Tim says even if his players train indoors, they should still spend a bit of time out on the golf course.
At the very least, pick a nice day in the winter that you're getting out, even to play 9 holes, to keep the game going a little bit.
And it's especially easy to stay on the ball and golf outside with the mild winters we have here in BC. I'm Bianca Solterbeck in Surrey for The Express.
The website is morgancreekgolf.com. It's a par 72 course and also designated an official PGA site. You're watching The Express, and we've got creativity and maybe even some copping out coming up.
Metro Vancouver artists make a point with patterns.
I'm going to try this one.
One of the wedding bells says, I don't.
We've actually seen girls not be friends anymore after being a bridesmaid.
The Express, we are your local voice.
You're like, yes, and then you're getting married, and everybody's so excited. And then real life sets in.
Community programming on Shaw has been generously sponsored in part by
hairstyling and color services for Shaw TV, provided by the Lounge Hair Studio, loungehairstudio.com.
I'm an island girl, but Vancouver's definitely home. I think home is where your happy place is. That's what I love about The Express. We meet people who are passionate about what they do. And we're not pretending to be something we're not. We're just celebrating who we really are.
Welcome to The Express. I'm Johanna Ward. Today's show is all about you. Welcome back to The Express at Cityscape Community Art Space in North Vancouver. The current exhibition, Patterns Hard and Soft, features 4 different artists: an abstract painter, a textile artist, a potter, and a sculptor. But imagine if you were wearing all those different hats just as one person. It's a lot to juggle, and sometimes that's how a bridesmaid might feel. So imagine if you're not up for the job. Today on The Wedding Bells, we tell you how to say no to that job while still keeping your friendship intact.
Carrots Wedding Bells is brought to you by Carrots, online at carrots.com.
Hi, I'm Aubrey.
And I'm Sarah.
And we are the Wedding Bells.
I just got engaged.
And I did not. We're on an adventure to plan the big day. Who has the better breakfast?
Oh, I'd have to hand it over to Aubrey.
I won! I'm actually starting to feel bad about winning. Scalpel? I should have been a nurse.
Aubrey is good at lots of things.
I'm going to try this one and this one.
But when it came to being Sarah's bridesmaid, the research was fun. I love poofs! But the poof and the froof, I wasn't good at it. So we thought about it, and we agreed I would back out of being a bridesmaid.
Why had this happened? We headed over to Fox Modern Bridesmaids to talk to owner Kat Stavely, bridesmaid expert.
Number 1 overall is to do anything the bride asks.
I was definitely failing in that department.
The bride has said, I don't care what my girls wear.
Kat gave us a quiz.
And then the bridesmaid goes to her closet and picks out an old dress that is cotton and has been worn before.
Bad bridesmaid.
But bride should be more clear.
You're both wrong. Because
see how confusing it is? Some people are great friends, bad bridesmaids.
So how did this happen?
So many brides don't want to hurt the feelings of some bridesmaids.
Which is why Sarah asked me, and we should have never gotten into this.
Let's face it, brides and bridesmaids need help.
We've actually seen girls not be friends anymore after being a bridesmaid.
Here are the tips to a successful bridal party. Think about the type of wedding you're having before you ask. You didn't know you were getting married in Tuscany.
No.
That was decided way after.
That's true. I asked my bridesmaids before,
I knew I was getting married. I meant before I knew where I was getting married.
Ask your bridesmaids to think for a few days before answering. Give them an out.
You're like, yes, and then you're getting married, and everybody's so excited. And then real life sets in. Think of it as creating a winning team and delegate jobs.
I know that each of them have their own qualities. I know that I can talk to this one about fashion. I know I can talk to this one about how to write things.
The frocks-wearing winning team I assembled looked like this.
Check out the swag this winning team got from their bride.
A Cake Beauty Highlight Luminous Lotion. A Miss Ruby Sue Fascinator. A Stay Gold Mary Rose Teacup Bracelet. A Dear Colleen Dishes I'd Rather Be Doing Jane Austen Tea Towel. A Honeydew Nightie. And of course, Aubrey and I remain great friends. Maybe she'd make a great flower girl. But how will I get a dream-spun petticoat to fit her?
For Shot TV, where are the wedding bells?
Carrots Wedding Bells has been brought to you by Carrots, online at carrots.com.
The lesson? It's always better to be honest with your best friend. And there's lots of ways to be part of the wedding without having to be a bridesmaid. You're watching The Express, and it's time now for our spotlight on local events. Lest we forget, take a tour through the Canadian Military Education Centre Museum in Chilliwack. Displays are set up in an interactive environment to allow you to feel and experience history firsthand. North Van Community Arts Council brings 14 unique films to the Park and Tilford Cineplex. These films offer a chance for the community to experience quality Canadian, independent, and foreign films. November 12th, participate in a unique take on running that starts at sunset in Stanley Park and features thousands of runners lighting up the night sky with Energizer LED headlights. The Vancouver race will support the Starlight Children's Foundation Canada. Also here at Cityscape Community Art Space in North Vancouver for their current exhibition, Patterns Hard and Soft. They're having an artist talk November the 5th from 1 until 2. This exhibition runs to November the 19th, and we're going to leave you with a look at it. Thanks for watching The Express, only on Shaw TV.